spirit fly into mystic. Let your soul and spirit fly into mystic, into mystic, into mystic, into mystic.
Good evening and welcome back to Mystic Matters. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. Good evening, Tricia Cunningham.
Good evening, Suzette Tebus.
And Tricia, I just have to let you know, is the president of the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. A lot of times some people don't know that. We're just, Tricia, how long have you been with us? I was trying to answer that question the other day. And as an advisor,
do you want to be depressed for half a second?
Well, I just thought this
do
time
you really
I'm
want to know
wearing
the
my
answer?
advisor hat, so I need to
She
know that
doesn't really
answer.
want to know the answer.
10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I know the answer, and that's just pretty amazing, and
Yeah.
Tricia Cunningham does a great job for us.
Thank you, Suzette.
So let's introduce our special guest from the Mystic Seaport.
Yes, we have Dan McFadden from the Mystic Seaport
Good
joining
evening,
us
Dan.
today. This is your first time on Mystic Matters. Welcome. Well, you know, we like to hear from Mystic Seaport as one of our major attractions in Mystic, and one of the reasons why so many people love to come to our
Yes.
beautiful town. So what do you have coming up for us?
Oh, well, summer is off and running right now, as I'm sure you know. This weekend coming up, we have the Wooden Boat Show. This is the 20th annual Wooden Boat Show.
Fantastic.
And it's been here for a number of
can't
years
believe
now.
it.
We do it in conjunction with Wooden Boat Magazine.
Right.
And it really is the biggest show of its kind in the country.
You know, I have people from all over who call the chamber and they're planning on coming down. And what's neat about the Wooden Boat Show, I don't know what makes it different than other events, but for some reason people come to the Wooden Boat Show and they come here without cars for the Wooden Boat Show. And I hear that more for that event than any other event. They come and they use the Mystic Community Bikes and they come by boat and they come
great.
by plane and they just take
great.
a taxi into town, but they just walk and
really
they
is,
just
yeah.
enjoy the town. There's a lot of people come and travel here.
People seem to make a weekend
Yeah,
of it. We
it's
it's
amazing.
one of
It's
the
wonderful.
one of the events we get people from all over
Yep.
the Northeast and actually all over the
all
country.
over the country, all over the world.
coming
We
for
had
this.
some Norwegians come from last year.
And I tell
Yeah,
you,
it's
people
terrific.
that love wooden boats, this is a passion like you wouldn't
Yes.
believe. Because you know my husband is a wooden boat nut. So he's always like, when's that Wooden Boat Show at the, I mean, we are members, of course. I said, hon, do you read your little magazine? Do you get all your information? But that it's great that this is going on.
So when is the Wooden Boat Show again?
Wooden Boat Show is the 24th through the 26th, so
All
it's
right.
Friday through Sunday. Saturday and Sunday we do have satellite parking, so if you drive up and it's busy, we do have buses and some other lots. We will get you there and get you in and out.
Great,
So
that's
just
good
bear
to
with
know.
us. That is important. Last couple of years, parking fills up around 10 a.m.
Yeah.
But we do have other places, and we'll have maps for you so you know where to go. And this year we have, we're not sure the final count, but as many as 50 families are going to actually be building a boat on the North Lawn by Latitude 41 Restaurant. So we're going to try to do a whole boat over the course of the weekend.
Wow.
So they're little kits that are being brought, and they've all picked
That's
out their
quite
boat.
impressive.
So it'll
Now,
be
is
a
this
huge.
the first year, Dan, for that? Or no?
It's the second year. It's
Okay,
the first year they're
okay.
making it pretty big.
Okay,
We had
good.
some people do it last year, I think about 13 families, and it was popular, and people saw it and said, well, I'd like to do it.
Right.
So
What do you do with the boat afterwards?
you take it home and you use it.
All 50 families?
Yeah.
Oh, all 50 families build their own boat.
They build their own boat.
Aha. That's
So
pretty
it's
cool.
neat. So it's a kit
Okay.
that they've purchased, and
Okay.
they'll have
Okay,
advice and all the tools they need, and so that's going to be kind of exciting.
You
So that's
supply
new
the
for
tools,
this
they
year.
supply the tools.
They supply the tools.
Okay, good.
It's all organized, so people, it's a little too late to sign up now, but so that's one thing you can come and watch and actually see people build a boat
Excellent.
over the course of the weekend.
And what else do you have coming up?
We still have our tattoos exhibit, Skin and Bones, which has been very popular, and it's basically a history and examination of tattoos in the American sailor, why they got tattoos, what they mean, and also how it's spread around the rest of American culture. The sailors were the first to bring tattoos,
That's right.
into this country.
Our Navy.
That's right. That's
All
right.
and that's been very popular, so we encourage people to come down and see that.
Okay.
And I suppose the other big thing we have coming up we'd like to encourage people to come to is our Rum Runners Rendezvous,
Fun
which is the
event.
same weekend as the Antique and Classic Boat
That's right.
Rendezvous. So
Yeah.
boats 1965 and older, lots of varnish, and but that evening we also do a big sort of thank you to the Mystic community, so people can come, and it's steel drums and Caribbean
what day
music,
what day
and
is
that
that?
is actually the 23rd of
Okay.
July.
Okay, and Dan, just one more thing, so that everybody knows. What are your hours?
Our
we have
hours
to
are-
make sure.
yep, they do change seasonally.
That's
We're
right.
open 9 to 5, 7 days a week.
And once you're on property, you can stay on past 5
And
o'clock.
you can stay on until 6 o'clock, and a little later on in the summer, you'll be able to actually stay up until 8 o'clock, and our Spouter's Tavern will be open in case you'd like a a beverage and just want to sit and watch the water. That hasn't started yet. That's coming up.
Excellent. Well, thank you
Dan,
very
thank
much.
you so much, and we
Thanks for
hope to
being
see
here.
you soon.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you
Thanks.
very much. Okay, Tricia, what is going on at the
Well,
Chamber?
we have a couple things going on. As you know, we're in the throes of summer, so we're
Yes, we
getting
are.
ready for Art Festival and Taste of Mystic coming around the corner, and we are looking for volunteers. We're taking our volunteer sign-ups for those right now as we speak.
Yes,
actually,
we
People
need
are
volunteers.
calling and emailing because for both of those events, Art Festival and Taste of Mystic, it takes about 100 volunteers for each of those events. So Art Festival is in August, Taste of Mystic is in September. So think about that. And if you're interested in volunteering, definitely reach out to our office. And I just wanted to remind people of the different things to do in our community. We have the farmers markets throughout town, Mystic and Stonington, so those are a great thing to do to support our local farmers and to also come out and just be in Mystic and Stonington and Groton. The Nature Center is something that
Yes.
we don't hear enough about sometimes, and that's such a gem for Mystic. So if you're looking to do something with the family on a weekend or have some guests visiting, great opportunity to just go and hike around, check out our beautiful woods in Mystic and some of the great animals that they have there, and just get some of the knowledge about the local habitats in our area. And then another wonderful museum that I think is something that we forget about at times is one of my favorites is the Nautilus Museum.
One of my
And
favorites as well.
It's
Yeah.
amazing,
Right.
and nothing gets me quite as patriotic as a submarine going down the river and then being able to go on board a submarine such as the Nautilus and being able to actually go in and see, touch, and feel and kind of experience for a half a second what our Navy gives back to our country with that sacrifice.
Well, you don't have to convince me of that, of course, coming from a Navy-based family. And of course, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my father was a World War II veteran and also a submariner. So I totally agree with you when it comes to that patriotic idea, Tricia. So thank you so much for encouraging people to come out and see our wonderful attractions. Well, speaking of patriotic,
Yes.
I mean, that's a great segue.
Well,
To our, it's pretty good. I think we've been doing this a long time together. I do want to mention, though, too, Tricia did mention the volunteers, so I want to circle back with that. Not only are you volunteering in doing your community service, but it's a great time to just get out there and really be with your community. When you volunteer for the Art Festival, the Taste of Mystic, it's like what I call a big class reunion in your hometown. So if you're looking just to have fun and to chat with your neighbors, even people that you haven't seen in a long time, just give us a call and at 860-572-9578 and we'll hook you up.
Excellent.
Okay, so getting back to that segue of patriotism.
We have a wonderful business, Grossman Seafood. We have Sean Coleman here today, who's given back.
Good evening, Sean.
Thank you for being
Nice
here.
to see you.
Nice to see you.
He's taken his business and has been able to really give back to our military community, our Navy community in Groton, and I'm looking forward to hearing from him. And I was wondering, we have Rick as well, who you've kind of partnered with at Work Vessels for Veterans. So I want to hear from both of you, from Grossman Seafood, from Work Vessels for Veterans, and kind of hear a little bit about each of you, and then how you guys came to work together.
I think this is
because it's
fantastic.
a beautiful, beautiful
Right.
story.
And I have to tell you, Tricia, I knew about this program, but I learned it through Kathleen Burns and John and Holstein and everybody. But I really learned about it at the night of the Service Community Service Award.
Our annual
and
dinner.
Congratulations, because
Yes.
I think it's certainly it brought down the house.
It did.
It really did. I was there.
You are
It
looking
just
at the Greater Mystic
brought-
Chamber of Commerce
absolutely.
Community Service Award winner from 2010. So
Right.
that's who we have on
But
stage
it
with us
really
tonight.
brought down the house, and so I mean today is a great venue to just highlight that and to learn more about what you're doing, and of course the recipients of your good works.
Yes.
Thank
So
you.
that being said, tell us a little bit about Grossman Seafood, the history. You've been around for some time now.
Few years.
Just a little while.
1916 was the inception.
1916.
My father-in-law has owned it since 1965. I hope that's right. I should probably know that history. But he has owned it since the 60s, and we have grown it from a mom and pop retail store to a very large wholesale retail market. And
locations.
2 locations now.
Yeah.
And then just branched out into a catering division as well. So
A catering division.
yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
We had a lot of customers that were looking for clam bakes and lobster bakes at their house, and after taking numerous phone calls over many years. Finally decided that we needed to step up, and we did it slowly, and we were finally at that point where we could branch out, and this is our first year. So.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Congratulations.
Thank
We
you.
talk about 2 locations, so for those people who don't know where you're located, just tell us where you're located.
We have a location in Mystic. It's 401 Noank Road.
Right. The original.
The original. Nice, quaint little store. And our second location is 479 Gold Star Highway. It's the old admissions building,
That's right.
just down the street. And that's quite a difference from what it was. You'd be amazed if you walked in. The cars used to drive through that building.
It's amazing. I've been there, so it's truly a transformation
It is, yes.
in every respect.
But and going to the second building, it certainly allowed us to get a little more involved with the community. We couldn't do very much in the smaller Mystic location. We were tripping over each other and trying to get things done, and short-staffed. With the new building, we've been able to grow and step out, branch out into the community. And that's what the Operation Lobster Dinner is all about.
What is the operation? So tell us a little bit about Operation Lobster Dinner.
Operation Lobster Dinner is an event to give thanks to our military, past and present, and their families for their sacrifices. Many times the families are forgotten, and we just like to give back and say thank you. What we
That's
do is
wonderful.
we serve them a full traditional lobster dinner. We serve them. We have big guests that come in. We have Miss Connecticut that comes in. Last year we had Jody Rell there, Andrew Maynard, Senator Andrew Maynard. Those are just a few I can think off the top of my head. But
And
everybody.
where is this held?
Last year it was held, the first and second year actually, it was held right at our store in Groton. We closed our store off on Sunday, and then just lined our parking lot, our side parking lot, with tables.
And what are your plans for this year?
This year we're bringing it home to them. We're going on base. We're going to have it at North Lake, and they have a pavilion.
At the
and-
Naval Submarine
Yes,
Base?
at the Naval Submarine Base. And they have a facility there that has a nice lake and a pavilion and picnic tables and just plenty of room. We were pretty cramped in
Yeah.
our place. We had, I don't know, 700, maybe 750 people in our little parking lot.
Right, right.
Which is bigger than Mystic, but still small and to hold 750
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
So it's gonna open up a lot of things for everybody.
Now tell us a little bit about this partnership. We have
With
Rick
the
here
wooden
from
vest.
Work Vessels for Veterans. Now tell us a little bit about Work Vessels for Veterans, and then maybe we can figure out how you guys made this connection.
Well, it's an interesting story, but Work Vessels for Vets started about 3 years ago. A lobsterman, John Necrash, was moving up to a larger boat and was trying to think of what could he do with his boat, and all of a sudden the idea hit him that, gee, if I give it to a vet who wants to continue on and learn a living on the water, that would be a wonderful thing. So he and several friends, one being Dave Mason of Traffic, came up with the idea of Work Vessels for Vets, and they presented the lobster boat to Richard Jajer, who was a Marine in Rhode Island. Richard, since in the 3 ensuing years, has spent 2 tours in Afghanistan. So his business is not quite up and running yet, but he still has the boat and plans to do that. And since that time, we have grown to the point where we provide laptop computers to veterans returning to school. We've given away about a dozen vehicles, used vehicles, to vets that need transportation and their family needs transportation. We raise money through all kinds of events, concerts, and Operation Lobster Dinner came to us and said, gee, we would like to have you benefit from the proceeds of Operation Lobster Dinner. And it was their concept of giving back to the vets fit in with our idea of let's recognize the vets for their service. And Sean and company includes the family as well. And the family is a group that isn't normally thought of as participating in an active way, but they bear a lot of the burdens that the service
sure they
people
do.
do. So
Right, right.
it's worked out very well for us, and we're honored to be recipients and to work with Sean and the whole Grossman group to have this event. 3rd year, we've become very close with Mark Deno, the CEO of the
Yes.
sub base, and it now goes to an area where there's a park, and so the families have other things to do. other than sit at the tables at Grossman's,
Right.
which was great. And we did have great guests and so on and so forth. I think gave away gifts and computers and boats there. But we'll do the same thing there. But Sean's taken the bull by the horns and put it where it really belongs for the time being.
Excellent.
So it's been wonderful association.
Now, this is a really big undertaking, what you're
Huge.
doing. Yeah.
Huge.
And I imagine you can't quite do it on your own, and it takes some other community support.
Absolutely.
So who in the community has kind of stepped up and said, okay, we're willing to help out?
There's quite a few actually. Lawrence Memorial Hospital has stepped up. The Mystic Aquarium has stepped up. There's another company. I mean, it's branched out as far as Massachusetts. Last year we had somebody from Virginia.
That's
But
so amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really is amazing.
KLT out of Massachusetts is a major sponsor. And without these guys and without the community, this would not be possible. I certainly couldn't foot the bill. And that's what, that's part two of the whole thing, is just getting more involved with the community.
Now, in regards to the community, are you looking for volunteers or financial sponsorships and support from the community? What are you looking for?
This year, going on base, that's the one area of the event that's going to be less of a headache is the volunteers. Not that volunteers are a headache, but
Well, I mean,
it's,
trying to gather
it's 100 volunteers.
Coordinating
Right.
and scheduling
Absolutely.
it.
We
and
understand
training
that.
them. Yes.
Yeah,
So
we do.
It's 100 volunteers last year, and coordinate that was difficult. This year, with it being on base, we'll probably will only need 25.
wow.
And most of that will be staffed through Grossman's. Yeah.
Okay. And are you looking for support from the community and taking donations and things like
Yes.
that? Because there's still, even though you're getting a lot of volunteer support over at the base and still using Grossman's staff to help do the event, but you're also still going to have a lot of expenses, I imagine.
Yes.
Okay.
The expenses are tremendous, and the support from the community is welcomed. Believe
Okay.
me.
So if
Right,
someone
so-
out there, so we have a lot of people that are listening, how can they get in touch with you if they're interested in saying, okay, Sean, I want to write you a check right now? How would they
Well,
get in touch with you?
there's a couple ways. I mean, first, you can just call me at the store.
Okay.
That number is 860-448-9273. Or you can reach out to me through email. And my email is Sean, SEAN, @grossmansseafood.com. Or you can go onto our website. That's grossmanseafood.com.
All right.
Um,
And we have both the phone number
Right,
and the
right.
email address on the screen too, if you for you guys to write down.
Now, we talked about, Sean, you had mentioned, obviously, those who are serving and those who have served. You must have some wonderful stories speaking to these veterans. Is there any particular stories that either one of you can share with us that sort of tugged at your heart? Because I got to tell you, your whole program tugged at everybody's heart the night of the Community Service Award in MGM. But is there a particular veteran that you spoke with that you can share a story with that your program and your program are helping? Or at
Well,
least bring in awareness. Let
I
me
will
put it
tell
that
you.
way.
I will tell you one of the most heart-wrenching stories that I can tell, and then we can tie in with Sean. But we have a veteran in Florida, and Adam Burke. And Adam Burke came back from Iraq, and he was basically physically disabled and mentally disabled, and got a discharge. He was unable to carry on a conversation with you. He was that traumatized. Well, he wanted to start a blueberry farm, and he sent an application into Work Vessels for Vets. We went down, talked with him, wound up buying 8 acres for him to start a blueberry farm, and and leased it to him for 99 years. He's starting a blueberry farm. We've gotten irrigation donated, the blueberry bushes donated, a tractor donated.
Wow.
And now this is 2 years ago. This past fall, we went down and we held a concert in Jacksonville, Florida, with Dave Mason and Cal David, who do concerts for us.
You've got some great connections.
Yeah.
Rick. I know you do, because Rick
And-
is coming to us. We've talked about this, and that's
Yeah.
amazing. And through your connections, benefit.
But Adam Burke
Yes.
got up in front of 1,500 people in a theater and gave a talk about what it meant to him.
Oh, I
And,
would
and
not
2
be
years
able to.
prior to that,
He was
wouldn't have been
unable
able
to function.
do that.
Unable to function.
That's beautiful.
And
Really,
the same
that's
thing
a
happens at
wonderful
Operation
story.
Lobster Dinner. We gave a boat to a group of wounded veterans up in New Hampshire so they could take their wounded friends out fishing. And the combination of the two of us impacts so many more people than you hear about in a news story. And it's all good news, and it's very difficult to get on the air with this news.
Right.
March 25th, we had an event at Noank Shipyard. We gave away a van, a pickup truck, a car, a 25-foot sailboat, and 15 laptop computers. Sean was involved in that with us. And I'll tell you, it's organizations like
Operation
Grossman's
Yes.
and Operation Lobster Dinner
Yes.
that raise the awareness here, because
Right.
there's just two of us locally that really are kind of out spreading the
Right,
feelers.
right.
But it's worked out wonderfully well, and we have more events scheduled for work vessels as a result of Sean's contacts.
Now you've
That's a
reached
wonderful
beyond
story,
New
right?
England and gone down to Florida. Where do you see work vessels for veterans going in the future?
Well, we hope that it will be spread nationally. We've actually had concerts in California. We've had boats and cars go to other places. We just shipped a van to St. Louis, Missouri, to Tim Smith, who started Patriot Cleaning. He now hires vets. He has 3 large corporate contracts, and we've supported him and bought all of his cleaning equipment, gave it to him a year or so ago. So he's all of a sudden he's very successful. Wow. And it keeps growing. I mean, we're going to have, just mentioned a couple local things. July 30th, PMW Marine in Stonington is going to have a fishing tournament for us. August 6th, we're going to have a night at the Waterford Speed Bowl. September 30th, we have Cal David at the
How can
Cape.
people find out about more of these events? Are they on your website?
They're on the website.
Okay.
And
What's your website?
Website is workvesselsforvets.org.
Okay. Right there. That's fantastic.
And what about Operation Lobster Dinner? I mean, this has already grown so tremendously and has been so successful and really embraced by the community. Where do you see Grossman's and the community taking Operation Lobster Dinner?
I have extremely high hopes. I don't do anything quickly. If any of you know me, I take my time and I make sure to master what's going on. Once we get this event designed to where it can run by itself, I'd love to bring it into the community so the community can get involved. Some of the visions that I've had were to bring it maybe to Washington Park or somewhere in Mystic and actually have the community come in and actually be able to buy tickets, and them buying tickets is actually supporting not only our guests but Work Vessels for Veterans as well.
And gives an opportunity
think you're
for
getting it.
interaction with the community and the naval community and our military and our veterans. So I think that's terrific.
So, Sean, is there a story that you'd like to share with us?
I don't have a personal story. Unfortunately, at the event, I'm doing a lot of running around.
Well, I
hear that.
I think that is
I
your
would-
story.
It is.
Actually,
That's
that
right.
is your
I would-
story.
I would like to say that the partnership with Work Vessels is, I can't really put it into words. It's a relationship that's grown since year one, and it's just seeing this organization change lives. We put a smile on these guys' faces, and they do know that we appreciate it. Work Vessels changes lives, and that's touching. And I can't wait
Well,
to do other things with them.
Again, the awareness. I mean, Tricia grew up in this area, and of course I grew up in this area, coming from a military family, very, very proud of it. And as speaking of the families, I have a wonderful young lady that works for me whose husband happens to be the commander of the Pittsburgh. And I will tell you, it does affect their lives as well. And the spouses of these wonderful men that are serving and do take care of the other spouses while they're out to sea deployed or out to sea for months and months and months and months. And it is although they are serving, it's very difficult on the families. So we also have to remember that we have to support them as well, because I think when we talk about veterans, whether it's veterans that have served or the men and women that are serving now, we're talking about the whole community. And that there's a bigger outreach out there too. So you guys are just doing
Especially in an area like this. with
Oh,
a
absolutely.
military base,
Yes.
yeah.
And how proud.
Yes.
I mean, for instance, the Medal of Valor the other day, a couple of weeks ago, and having those gentlemen down here that received those awards,
Yeah.
and of course even
The Legion of the
Legion-
gentlemen, the Legion of Valor.
Oh, right.
The members of Legion of Valor were in Mystic, and it was just such a tremendous experience. And even just recently at the naval base, celebrating the battle at Midway, and commemorating that and the anniversary of
Right.
that. So just
and a
so
few
a lot
years
of pride.
ago, the Mystic Chamber of Commerce and crew
Hosted
held the
Doolittle's Raiders, yeah.
reunion, and and a few of us have. I will tell you, I've gone to those reunions, and
great
these men. We've lost 3 this year. Those World War II veterans, and so we've had the opportunity to go to those reunions. So. I think all of us play a very big part, and will continue to play a big part, and we'll continue to support.
And it's important for us to continue to thank our active duty and retired military. Reach out and thank them.
Right. So, Sean, thank you once again for all you're doing.
It's an inspiration
And
what you've
It is
done.
to us all.
Thank you.
Yeah, really
Okay.
encouraging. Thank you.
And we'll continue to support you. Okay.
Thank you very much.
And Rick, always nice to have you, on Mystic Matters. Of course, I know Rick personally, and all the good things that you do for us too.
Thank you.
So, remember your veterans, and just remember the good things that these 2 gentlemen are doing. We are the
Mystic
Mystic Matters
Matters
and the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. Good evening.
Fly into mystic. Let your soul and spirit fly into mystic. Into mystic. Into mystic.